Good evening. Welcome to Wind Down with Grace. It's that time of night, guys. It is 7:01, 1901, and it is time for our show. Let's wind down, shall we? Cheers. Tonight I'm here with Monica. As soon as she shows up, we will add her to our live and we will get this party started. Woo woo. Who's in? Who's in? Who's here tonight? Look, I'm hot. Can you tell I'm steaming up my glasses already? It's bad, y'all. It's bad. And I got the fruit flies. If you see little flies, no, you don't. If they're in my wine, no, they're not. Nope, sure isn't. All right. Where's Mahanika? Oh, that's my new nickname for her. Mahanika. I like that. Look, I'm just going to warn y'all now. I have a cough. Aw, thank you. Join my team. Yeah, please do. Hit that little follow button. Tell me if you want to be on a live. I'll sit down and do a live with you. Oh. Okay, so for those of you who don't know who Monica is, she's a relatively large creator on here. I found her back in the day. She was really into, do you remember Charlotte the Stingray? Do y'all remember the Charlotte the Stingray? It was such a shame. So that's kind of how I found Monica. And then we realized that Monica also is a Sister Wives. Oh, thank you. Thank you for all the little things and the hearts and all the things. Y'all are too nice to me. So I found her. I started watching her page. She's loud like me. I love you, Monica, but she's loud like me. Thank you, Carrie. Yes, I got compared. My father was in the hospital and I was there with him. And somebody said, oh, Monica, there she is. And somebody said, let's see, mute account. No. Let me see, Monica, I got to find you. There we go. Hey, here she comes. Monica Turner, everybody.
Hey.
Turn that camera on, girlfriend. Don't be shy.
I should have the camera on. Is it not on?
No, you just start a little circle like this, just going bleep, 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 bleep.
Why is the camera not on? That's weird. That's weird. Oh, here we go. There we go. There we go. All right, there we go. Yay!
There she is.
How are you?
Oh, it's so good to talk to you live. I was just telling everybody who you are and how I found you. Welcome to the Wind Down with Grace. Are we winding down?
I went ahead and got myself a cocktail as well.
Here we go. We can't do a wind down without that. Now, I will, look, I'm going to preface this with saying, I take care of little munchkins. I have me a good old phlegmy cough. You know, so I have all the things. I have the inhaler. I have the tea with honey. I have water. And
You're going to be just fine.
So if I suddenly dive off camera and start like bringing up a lung, nobody call 911. I'm fine. I just have the lungs of a child tonight.
That's fun. That's fun.
Anyway, I was just telling everybody that the way I found you was Charlotte the Stingray.
Yeah, Charlotte the Sting. You know, it's very interesting you say that. Very
What?
interesting. I was checking on them today because, you know, the aquarium is back up, and with everything going on in North Carolina, I wanted to see what was going on. And the last update with them is that they have new animals in there and that they were closing in anticipation of the inclement weather. And that's it. No update since. Now, obviously, there's a lot going on right now, but I have no idea what happened.
Well, and they never really answered for what happened to Charlotte the Stingray, did they?
Not at all. They haven't answered anything at all.
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't know what's going on, so let me give you the little Reader's Digest on Charlotte the Stingray real quick. Charlotte the Stingray is an American stingray, an American round stingray that is in an aquarium was in an aquarium in Hendersonville, North Carolina. And the aquarium is not what I thought it was at first when you hear about what an aquarium is. It's not associated with a zoo or an aviary or any sort of marine biology situation. It is literally a storefront in a strip mall that has aquariums in it. Now I'm going to back up a little bit here. As it turns out, in the year 2020, they also had a shark that had parthenogenesis. If you don't know what parthenogenesis is, that's what we're talking about here. Parthenogenesis is the generation of the same sex, a female, that will regenerate it.
They self-reproduce.
Correct. Thank you. They self-reproduce. If you've ever seen the movie Jurassic Park, they go into great detail as to this whole process, because that's how the dinosaurs happened with this Jurassic Park park. Anyway, long story short, go watch Jeff Goldblum explain it. So they had a shark that had parthenogenesis, and this shark was studied by a study that was written by the aquarium and submitted to a study in Chicago that is one of the most prestigious parthenogenesis studies that there is out there. Okay. So now I'm going to go forward a little bit. That was back in 2020. Now we're going back to Charlotte the Stingray. Charlotte the Stingray suddenly shows up pregnant, and she is the only stingray in captivity to this point that they know of that has produced an animal or has a pregnancy through parthenogenesis. They show us sonograms of Charlotte with 4 pups moving inside of her. They are very excited about this. They start announcing this in like February, okay? As it turns out, they really found out she was pregnant in September, they said, but we'll get to that in a minute. The gestation period of a California round stingray, which I now know way more about than I should, is 90 days. So we're talking months here. So the stingray's pregnant through February, March, April. It's getting crazy here. We're getting at 9 months here. What's going on with this stingray?
And at that point, those of us who were invested, I'm telling you, I was getting up in the morning and daily checking their site to see what had happened.
You have no idea the thousands of messages I got from people daily. I mean, I had it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I was all over Charlotte the Stingray, so to speak. And lo and behold, then when it kind of came to the point where it was like, hey guys, you need to put up or shut up. Like, you're not letting scientists in to look at this stingray. Now I want to know what's going on. People were going in and looking at this stingray with their own eyes and saying something doesn't look right with this stingray. Then they wouldn't let you take pictures of her. Then they wouldn't let you take video of her. Then there was this blah, 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 blah. Anyway, then they came out with an announcement that says, golly gee whiz, she wasn't actually pregnant. It's some sort of a disease and she's dying. And we'll let you know what happens. And then
it was kind of like, oops, our bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she was dead. That's it. And that's the end of the story. Like, there's no conclusion to that. The long and short of it is, I've already gone into this, I shouldn't have gone into this far, is that we don't know what happened. We don't know what's going on with the aquarium. It seems, in my opinion, a little hinky. And I would love to have somebody investigate it that actually has the ability to do that, who knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And I'd really like them to do that before they have new animals on display.
I would like to know where they got the ultrasounds.
Well, as it turns out, there are some sleuths on the internet who have determined that if you look at the sonogram and you zoom it in or whatever like that, there's a different year on it. There's a different name on it. There's all kinds of stuff. So they may have just stolen the sonogram from somebody and just posted it. And that's my guess.
It's really sad. Anyway, that is how I found you. And then, so I followed you because of Charlotte Stingray. And I was so invested in this. And then she passed away. And then you started talking about Sister Wives. And I was like, what? My worlds are colliding. My Charlotte Stingray world and my Sister Wives world are just like booming together. I thought I was going to lose my mind. So then I thought, okay, maybe it was just like one video. It was just one video. So then I was like, oh no, she's in. She is in like the rest of us. So how did you get started with Sister Wives?
So I used to live in Utah.
Oh.
And I'll tell you, I am not Mormon. And
You're one of one, probably.
Well, in fact, actually, I went to high school in Utah. I graduated from Weber High School in North Ogden, Utah, which is a suburb of Salt Lake City.
So do you know any of these people?
I'm sorry?
Do you know any of these people?
So
Effing way.
I was the
Wait,
one.
I gotta get my wine. Wait,
So I was one of 3 kids in my entire school that was not Mormon. People knew who I was. People knew who I was. And a lot of people weren't really pleased with me. A lot of people said stuff. A lot of people were, I was called a lot of names, mostly the parents. The parents were like really anti me.
don't hang out with Monica.
So I in fact do know,
Spill it.
I do know some people who are in polygamous families, and I knew them in high school. And so I
Do those
was
people happen
in.
to be on camera at all?
No, none of them are on camera.
Okay. Just
So,
asking.
nope, none of them are on camera. So
Okay, but I would bet you $100 that they're related to somebody on camera.
I will bet you $100 that I'm not going to answer anything like that, but I will tell you this as well. I
The
will
only
tell you
reason I
this as
say
well.
it is I have found that they are all related to each other.
Well, okay, hold on. Here's my other link to them.
Oh, okay.
I used to live in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Holy
That's where I
cow.
met my husband. Yeah. So I was on the radio in Flagstaff for years. So when they show where they are, I know exactly where they're. I know exactly where they are. I know exactly where their house is. I know exactly where Christine's house was. It's right there off the side of the road. I know exactly where Coyote Pass is. I know what they're talking about. I know the places they're talking about. So it was, for me, it was kind of like almost going home.
Sure.
When I watched them in Flagstaff. I was very upset that they went to Flagstaff. I couldn't believe they went to Flagstaff.
Yeah.
Not the place for them, really. I was stunned by that. But that is kind of how I was like, oh, well, I know that, I know kind of how this works.
Yeah.
I was lit behind the curtain, so to speak, because I was,
From there.
nobody liked me.
Okay, that makes sense.
So,
That all falls into place now.
yes. So, the long and short of it is, I was just kind of a silent observer. I was watching Sister Wives just like everybody else. And they blurred the paintings.
You love a good mystery, don't you?
I do. Well, here's the other thing. Okay. So my husband and I met in Flagstaff, right?
Okay.
I don't know if you know my husband, Jimmy, but Jimmy is my husband. We've been married for 20 years now. We've been together 25, met in Flagstaff, like I said. One of the jobs that he actually had in Flagstaff, he worked for Dale Turbush, an artist.
Okay. Who happens,
Who happens to have paintings on the wall in Cody and Robin Brown's house. And depending on what year that series came out, my husband's handwriting may be on the back of those paintings.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is
Isn't that
crazy.
crazy? Yeah, so anyway, so I was all in. I was all in. But as soon as I saw those blurred paintings, I knew, wait a minute, immediately, those are blurred for a reason. And I caught that in October of 23.
So look,
year ago.
somebody is asking a question. Somebody wants to know, if you're from the area, do you know, is Coyote Pass actually desirable land? Because our bet is no.
No. Okay, so here's the thing about Coyote Pass is that not only is it not desirable land, number one, but number two, in order to build on Coyote Pass, they need to remove the first 6 to 8 layers of soil because it is, in fact, infected with the prairie dog's poop that is there.
Yes.
If you live in Flagstaff, you will know there are prairie dogs in certain areas that are infected with, it's kind of like a, I don't want to say an HIV of prairie dogs, but it's like some
it's
sort
like
of
toxoplasmosis with cats.
yeah, it's like some sort of yucky thing. Okay. And in order to build on it, you need to remove the contaminated soil and expose fresh soil. Okay. And that's the first thing. The second thing is, and really this is the most important part, that property cannot be built on for residential purposes. It cannot be built on for residential purposes.
Really?
Not only can it not be built on for residential purposes, if you actually look at the contracts that they signed, which is public knowledge. By the way, I'm a realtor. I should also mention that.
Yes.
If you go into the Coconino County public records, you will see it cannot be built on. And they all signed that they understood that. Okay.
So,
Now,
so wait, what were they going to do with this land then?
My guess is that Cody had always planned on building on it. And he thought that once he paid it off and he owned it, lock, stock, and barrel, he could do whatever he wanted with it. However, he found out that's not right. When he bought that property, he signed that he knew that could not be used for residential purposes, which is why he then flipped, in my opinion. Okay. My opinion. He then flipped into the Airbnb thing. We want to have rental properties. We want to have rental properties because you can have rental properties on that.
So how is that not because Airbnb is technically commercial?
Correct.
Little son of a sucker.
That is my opinion. My opinion is he thought he could outsmart him and just buy the property outright because he's Cody Brown.
It's that band of missing hair that's affecting his thought process. My theory.
I think it was the plugs they put in a little too tight or something.
Yeah. Have you seen the latest picture they took off the last episode? He's like this, and you get like an aerial shot of it.
Oh,
it's bad. It's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad. It's really bad. He needs to do something. Just shave it. You know, just
he could do. So then he could build a house there and just charge Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna to live there because they're all adults.
no. They can't live there full time.
Oh, they have to
They
come and
can't
go.
rent there. They can't live there full time. It has to be a in and out, in and out.
Not a problem though. He pisses his kids off enough. They'll go in and out because they're so ticked off with him. They'll leave.
Look, this is my prediction. I think this show is going to be on 2 more years. I think we might get a season 21, but I'm really not sure. Okay, I think 20 is going to be the end of it.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
At the end of that, if Cody and Robin were married for another 2 years, I'll be shocked.
You are the only other person I've had agree with me. I always end. Okay, you just zipped to the end of my interview. I always end these interviews with, okay, do you think Robin and Cody will stay together? And most people are like, yeah, I do. And I don't. I'm like, no.
This is not true love. This isn't love.
No.
This was a power trip that Robin got immediately. Her narcissism was fed immediately by Cody, who wanted her and love bombed her. She got lifted up to here. He promised her the sun and the moon and the stars, and she lets him do kinky things in the bedroom. So he then was up here, and he was getting his narcissistic joy from beating the other 3 women down. You know? I as soon as she got in there, she knew what was up, and he's my soulmate. What?
I've said from the beginning, both of them, she wants, I really do believe that she wants to be a polygamous wife. She just wants everybody else to be beneath her. She wants to bully everybody else. So when they all left,
to be the polygamist husband.
yes. And now there's nobody left, so they're going to turn on each other. It's just a matter of time.
It's a classic story of a narcissist and what happens. You have to feed the narcissist. If you take the food away, he's going to turn on whatever's left.
Yep. And so help any woman that decides to marry into him then. I'm like, you know what? You're on your own. You have seen 19 seasons of how he behaves. If you are stupid enough to marry him now, you deserve what you get.
He will be so angry and bitter and horrible to just be around on an everyday basis once he and Robin break up, that I cannot imagine that he will ever be with anyone again. Except it is my opinion and my prediction that he will go sniffing at Mary's door.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. Or Janelle. But Janelle has shut him down really hard.
Nope, it's going to be Mary.
Yeah.
It's good.
Where'd you go? She froze up, y'all. There she is. Okay.
Am I here?
You're
Am I
here.
here?
You froze.
There we go. Okay, I'm back. I'm at camp. I'm sorry. So I'm like out in the middle of nowhere.
Somebody is saying that they think Mary would crawl back.
No.
Do you think she would?
No.
I don't. I don't.
No. When Mary said goodbye with a capital G. And she is
I
done.
love the Mary that's here now. And I am pleading with her on the everyday to sit down and talk to me. I know she has an NDA. I know what she can't talk about. I want to talk about how much she has grown since she left him.
Well, I think that Mary is okay. As a wife of 20 years, you know, I'm for the OG. I'm here for the OG, not just the OGs, the OG. I want Mary to win in this whole thing. And I think Mary should write a book.
Oh,
Forget the stuff about TLC. Forget the stuff about TLC. If Mary's watching this, just out of curiosity, just in case, Mary, you're watching this, or maybe Jen, maybe you're watching Jen. I think that it would be beneficial to Mary to write a book, bringing together her worthy up message and about how a young woman was raised in the polygamist world and was, from the time she was born, this is what you're going to do, this is what's going to happen. And most men start sniffing around a young lady at about 14, 15, 16. And Mary didn't have anybody sniffing after her. And it wasn't until she was 19 and Cody Brown came around. Yeah. And she was like, all right.
Well, and I guess when I first started watching it, and I don't know if you know this about me or not, I was brought up conservative Mennonite. So I was brought up in that same kind of, like, if you hit 25 and you weren't married, people were starting to be like, what's wrong with that one, you know? And so now it's not like that now, but back in my day it was. So I graduated. You're froze again. Y'all, is she still here? Anyway, I am assuming she can still hear me. Do I have to stop this live and start over?
Oh,
there she is. Okay, can you still hear me?
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay.
So I graduated in May, got engaged in February, and got married in July. So I was 19 by a week when I got married. Good Mennonite boy, good Mennonite girl, got married. Now, for us, it worked out. We're still together 37 years later, and it's been great. But I think I often, when I first started watching Sister Wives, I felt connected to Mary kind of through that. You know, like I understood what it's like to get married at 19. You're a baby. Like, you're still growing up yourself. Yeah. The difference is my husband and I grew up together. Her and Cody brought in a bunch of other people, and that all went wrong, you know?
Well, think about this as well. So you're married, okay?
Yes.
And you aren't married yet. You are about to get married, and you bring your fiance in to meet your family, and you introduce him to your sister-in-law. You know, you're all excited because you've got a sister-in-law, and now they're running off. You know,
and he's like, "Hey, she's hot."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh well, just okay, here we go. So, you know, I think that Mary really was groomed from this, obviously, from the very beginning. And I think that she's got such an interesting story to tell. And now that she's come to this part of it and the change in it, I'd love to hear what she has to say about that.
Me too. Well, that brings me to one of my other questions. And that is, I think you probably just answered it. Who is your favorite wife?
Yeah. You know, I like them all for very different reasons. I do. I really do. I really like Janelle.
Yeah.
I think she is, she's interesting. You know, she talks
just said in the comment section, they really want to know the real story about what happened with Janelle's first husband, which would be a good book.
Well, that'd be a great book.
What?
I don't know what happened with Janelle's first husband.
She never talks about it.
She never talks about it. You know, I think that Mary has a lot of things that she never talks about. Mary is the secret keeper.
Well, and
If you
Mary's
tell her-
brother is the one that was married to Janelle, correct?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
be a good book.
That would be a great book. She has a lot of just amazing stories. Like I said, she's the secret keeper. If she wanted to, she could. If she wanted to. What just happened there?
She paused and came right back.
If she wanted to. What just happened there? She
Paused and came right back.
If she wanted what just happened? What just happened there? What's going on? What's going on?
I have no idea. We've got a poltergeist. I have no idea.
I don't know. Okay,
I don't know either.
Turn it off.
How do we make
I
it
don't know.
stop?
I don't know what I did. I think I just recorded myself and then I'm just tapping. I don't know. How do we make it stop?
Okay, go out and I'll let you right back in. Okay, go out and I'll let you right back in.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Oh wait. No. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Oh wait. No. Okay, I'll be back.
Okay, now she's going to show up and say something in the comment section, Monica, and then I can let you right back in again because we have to finish this conversation. Hey, Melanie! Melanie's in the house. Invite.
All right. Can you hear me? Okay.
Did we lose our
I'm getting back
poltergeist?
on. Come on. I don't want to touch anything right now because I'm scared to touch it. Okay. There we go. Okay. How's that? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So,
I'm sorry, what were we saying?
do you listen to the podcast Love Should Be Multiplied, Not Divided?
No.
No. It's really funny. They can be vulgar, but they're hysterical. And this week they were actually talking about, because, TLC did the whole thing with rating the wives and all. And so she said to him, so who is your favorite wife? And he said, and I thought this was so interesting. He said, I feel like everybody's favorite wife initially is Christine. Like when you first start watching the show, she's fun and she's like nurturing and taking care of the kids. And everybody's like, ooh, Christine, like she's my favorite, And then you grow up and you realize that Janelle is the real queen.
Yeah. Here's my problem with Janelle. Janelle got herself into a pickle. She gave Christine great advice, but she didn't take it. And I think that that's just because she just never really thought that the family would fall apart. She really believed Cody. And I think she's still in that. She's still in that. I can't wrap my brain around the fact the family isn't together yet.
Well, when she turned around and said, I would do polygamy again, I was like, ah,
Yeah.
knife to the kidney. Ah,
Yeah, exactly. When we started watching this, did you ever watch that television show Kate and Allie? It was on in the 80s.
Yeah, I remember it vaguely.
It's Jane Curtin, and I can't remember who the other mother is, but they are mothers that are divorcees, and they move into one of the other, Kate's house or Allie's house or whatever, and they have children, and so they end up like co-parenting together. I thought when the first episode of Sister Wives aired and they were all in that house in Lehigh, I thought it was very similar to that show. It had that same kind of feeling of a little bit hectic, but a whole lot of love and running around.
Right.
And, there was just so much love to go around, and how cool it would be. You had 3 moms that were there that could help out if somebody needed help with homework and somebody needed food and somebody needed to go to bed. Like, you could do that. That's not at all, apparently, what it was, but that is the feeling they seemed to give. And I think a lot of that, in fact, had to do with Christine.
Yeah. Well, and I think too that I didn't realize last year I went back and actually watched from the beginning. It's amazing what your brain does. I could have sworn that when I first watched Sister Wives, that we saw 2 or 3 episodes before Robin was brought in. And when I went back and watched it, I was like, oh no, she was there on the very first episode. They were bringing her in. And I just was shook. Like, I don't know how I didn't realize that, but I did not realize that. And I was like you, I really felt like this is so cool. Like, we're getting to see a glimpse into this polygamous lifestyle, and they're making it work. Like, they're modernized and they're making it. And now we look back at their kids who were not well, not doing well, and very vocal about how uncomfortable their childhood was. And it wasn't a great thing, you know? And then you bring Robin into it, and it just crumbled like a sandcastle.
I think that if the Browns had not had Robin join the family, that the Sister Wives would have been a mini series of 3 episodes, and that would have been it. TLC at that point was really into showing like the different kinds of, you know, alternative lifestyles, and that was very popular, and this was the way they were going to go. And I think that probably would have happened. But Robin coming in and adding another wife immediately made people mad.
Yes.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Here comes this woman 10 years younger. This woman's having a baby, and here he is kissing her. Are you insane? And it was from the get-go.
Well, and it was easy, and I wonder if Robin realizes how much they made her the villain from the beginning. I mean, the way they edited stuff, I'm not saying she's not the villain, but from the very first episode, they have scenes where Cody is sneaking away from the family to go see Robin, which immediately makes us as watchers be like, you know?
I don't think that Robin saw it and sees it that way. I really think that Robin thinks that she had a huge love story play out all over TLC for a decade for all of us to watch, and we just didn't get it.
Yeah.
I think that's really what she thinks.
Well, I still think when this season started, her and Cody still had this attitude of, we're going to get to be the victims and everybody's going to feel bad for us that the other 3 left. And instead, everybody's like cheering the women on and being like, boo to Robin and Cody. They can't figure it out.
I think that the more cheering that the wives get, the madder Cody gets. And the madder Cody gets, the more, I don't know, martyrdom, upset or whatever Robin is getting. Yeah. I really don't think she knows what to do at this point. She has gotten herself into a pickle of a situation. And I will bet you that when that serving came from Christine and Cody was served with those papers, I will bet you dollars to donuts that Robin wanted to swallow Cody's teeth. She was so mad.
Well, and she's starting to let her veil slip. Like, even in the current episodes, she's starting to be like, he's getting on my nerves. You know? It's like, it's starting to slip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, look, I have to ask you this because it's all in the comment section. This is changing the subject. We're going to squirrel for a minute. I know you can handle it. Were you on the live with the girl that found the rug buried in her backyard?
I was not on. I popped in and out, in and out, in and out. I don't know what happened with that.
That's what people were asking me. People are telling me, asking me if I know anything. No, I've been here on the live. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay. So let me tell you what I knew about what happened before
I know about the rug and the dogs and the cops. I saw that. I was in it.
Okay.
But then she cut it off.
And she hasn't gotten back on now.
Oh, so we're still all hanging.
We are still all hanging. Now, my guess is that, I mean, there were police officers there looking at that thing. So my guess is that there's something there.
Well, and there was a news station there when she dropped off.
Something was found. Something was found. Whether it's a dead cat, dead dog, dead rat, I don't know. Or if it's a dead body.
Well, I mean, if they go in my backyard, they're going to find some dogs because that's where you bury your dog. You know? When your dog dies, you bury it in your backyard. I should... Allegedly for entertainment purposes only. So, but it's odd to me that when she's like, do I need a lawyer? And you literally can hear crickets go chirp, chirp, chirp. I'm like, girl, here is your sign. Get off the phone and call a lawyer.
I was like, what are you doing? When I was on there, She had 98,000 people on that live.
Oh no, 175 when I was on.
175,000? Oh my
175,000.
gosh.
Mm-hmm.
175,000 people on a live.
Yes.
We're all invested in this, ma'am.
Yes.
You need to let us know.
And then when she asked about whether she needed a lawyer, the news people drove up and she's like, the news people are here. And the cop, you hear the cop in the background go, it's because you're on live. I was like, this poor girl, this poor girl.
I don't know if I want them to find something for her or if I want them to not. I want her to be like justified. Like, look, this was serious and it's a good thing I called, you know. You guys kind of thought it was nothing, but it is actually something.
But at the same time, I don't want that for her.
She's going to be like, I got to call it dirty. My kids are in the house. News careers are here.
It's like I'm digging a hole for a post. Suddenly I need a lawyer.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Meanwhile, though, we got Cody hiding money in artwork, but he don't need a lawyer, apparently. Apparently he don't need a lawyer.
Oh, I have a theory about that, too.
Okay, let's hear it.
I think there's a lot more artwork.
Oh, like
I think there's a lot. Yes, because Janelle said while she was in the car driving with Maddie, oh, he's spending all this money. He's investing in assets like this, and trailers.
Yeah.
That's not, look, I have a camper, okay? Dayton lives in a camper. He doesn't live in a trailer. He lives in a camper on their property, or he lives in an RV. I don't live in my RV. I just have one. But I mean, but if you have something that you are storing things in,
That's a trailer.
that's a trailer.
Yeah, that's a trailer. Agreed.
And the fact their house is completely empty right now, and that the pictures that they have are very obviously staged. Okay, as a realtor, I can tell you those are 100% staged. They went in, they cleaned it, da 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 da. But the other thing is, it is clean. It's not like sometimes I go into listings and I'll move, piles of crap to one side and take the picture, and then move piles of crap to the other side and take the picture. You just do. But like, you can tell that house is cleaned out. In the garage, you can also tell that there's like one wall that has stuff on it.
Right.
But they cleaned that place out. Where is all that stuff? They're not putting that stuff in a new house, are they?
Well, are they still living there?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
Based on the way that house looked, I don't think they're living there. The closets in Solomon and Ariana's room didn't seem to have clothing in it.
I think that they left just enough of their own personal belongings there so that, because they knew those pictures would be on Zillow and all the places, that people would think they were living there. But I don't think they're living there.
I don't think they're living there. And I think the reason they left those pieces there is because A, we've already seen them. And B, removing them from the walls would damage the walls. And it would be more expensive to then remove said paintings and repair the walls before the pictures are taken than it would be to leave the paintings up. And I think they're in some serious financial trouble.
Okay, and all of this is we're playing pretend, okay?
Yes.
This is all alleged, people. Nobody record this and go say that we are saying blah, 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 blah. We are not saying that.
Yeah, no. I've never
Right.
met any of these people. This is all us speculating about a TV show, okay?
Correct.
So,
Now, having said that, what do you think about, like, do you think they're sizing up or sizing down? Rumor is they're sizing up. I don't. I think they're sizing down. I don't think they have the money.
I think they're sizing down. I think they're going to St. George. I think they're going closer to her family. I think they're going to buy a 3-bedroom home. I think Aurora and Brianna and Dayton are going to be nearby, or maybe Dayton's going to stay in Flagstaff. I don't know. And then the young ladies are going to go.
I did that video the other day. Where's Dayton? We have not. I think Dayton has pulled a Logan. I think he's been like, peace out.
I think so too, but I'm going to also tell you a couple things about that. Number one, I find it very interesting that they bought a house that, they had to have 5 bedrooms. They had to have 5 bedrooms. How many kids do they have?
Uh-huh.
Where is Dayton living?
Uh-huh.
We don't have an extra bedroom there, okay? all the bedrooms are taken. What?
Well, he's been in that camper for a while.
Right. They bought a 4-bedroom home, not a 5-bedroom home. It's a 4-bedroom home, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then they have this kid. Who the heck knows where Dayton is? He just doesn't exist anymore. I heard a rumor. This is a rumor. I don't remember who it was that said it. But somebody said it on social media, and I can't remember who. Maybe it was Sarah House from Realty Squad.
Okay.
I don't know. Somebody said that Dayton had at some point met up with his father, David Preston.
I have heard that.
David Jessup.
Yes.
That there may have been some friction when he got back. And if that is true, which would make sense,
It would.
the young man turned 18 and said, I want to go see the man I'm named after, and went to go see the man he's named after, his biological father, who then was able to communicate with him a few things. And then Dayton wasn't happy about them, came back, and apparently they had a little head-to-head about COVID, the COVID rules.
Oh, those dang COVID rules. So what do we think then was the little with Mykelti and Robin?
I think that Robin didn't allow her children to go to the funeral. I think that when Mykelti said, why are the girls not here? Why are the kids not here? Or something like that.
Yeah.
Robin maybe made a comment that was pretty dumb and insensitive.
Imagine.
I know she could have said something along the lines of, well, they're not really related. Or
Can't you see her doing it? Yeah.
and I can see Mykelti getting mad because look, I know Mykelti gets a lot of flack from a lot of people, but I think that Mykelti was a kid that was stuck in the middle of a huge family and was lost. And unfortunately for her, was at the right place at the wrong time with a narcissist who wanted into the family and was going to do anything that she could to woo Mykelti over to her side so she would be on her side.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's probably what happened. And Mykelti just thought it was more than it really was.
Well, and I feel like Mykelti, so during COVID, I got really into LuLaRoe. And I was in Mykelti's lives a lot. I have given a lot of stuff to Goodwill that I bought from Mykelti. Not going to lie. I don't do that anymore. I am anti-MLM. I have grown up and I know better.
Okay.
But you know what? It is what it is. So I do believe that Mykelti has a good heart, but she is very much a middle child, and she is very much Cody's daughter. And I agree. I think that she got herself in this situation, and she does like to be the center of attention. And so she kind of sided with Cody and Robin. And then she realized partway through, oh shit, like that's not the right side to be on. The public all likes that side. And I have well camped myself over here. So then for a while she tried to like bring them together, and that didn't work. That was awful. And now she's kind of got to find a way to dissect herself out of that, because she wants to continue her Patreon. She wants to continue all that's how her family's making money. And she's got 3 kids.
Yeah.
And Robin is not hard to find something to be ticked off about. Like, and then with Garrison and that unfortunate situation, I could see, I mean, that's her brother, you know? And so I can see how it kind of fell apart. I do find it interesting that in true Cody fashion, she goes on her Patreon and brings it up and then says, but we're not going to talk about it.
That's very Mykelti.
Right?
Mykelti does that kind of stuff. Oh, Mary was so awful to me, but I'm not going to tell you anything about it.
A lot of people come at me because I have always said, people will come on my page and say, Mary was abusive, Mary was this, Mary. And I have always said, I've never heard Mary address it. And I'm not willing to say this is what happened when all I've heard is somebody with a pattern of being a little bit manipulative say, she was really awful to me, but I'm not going to talk about it?
I think that may have had something to do with Leon. Leon and Mykelti did not get along.
No, they did not get along. No.
The oldest three girls were as close can be.
Yeah.
Leon, Maddie, and Aspen were very, very close growing up. And then you've got boys, and then you've got Mykelti, and then you've got boys.
And I can see how Mykelti's not a girl's girl.
No.
At all.
You know what though? She's very like, she's fashion forward, and she is in a lot of ways a girl's girl, but
she strikes me in high school, she would have been the girl that you made friends with, and then you find out that she's talking about you behind your back. You don't think? Because she would be so busy trying to make a friend with somebody else that she'd be like, well, I really like her, but sometimes she can be mean. And then you're like,
I don't get the impression. I think Mykelti's probably the type of person that if you're friends with her and then you tell her a secret and you say, don't tell anybody, and she goes, okay. And then she turns around and tells somebody, not because she meant to like tell your secret, but she forgot that you told her not to tell. It's because she wasn't paying attention to the fact that you told her not to tell.
Maybe.
I think that I just look, I also think that the whole like the debacle in Flagstaff between Christine leaving and them all coming to say goodbye that Mykelti decided to organize. I think that TLC set her up because Mykelti is so easily influenced. And I think that they planted that idea in her head. Oh, hey, I think you should do this. It would really be great if we could get a scene. I do. I think it would be great if we could get a scene between Robin and your dad and everybody saying goodbye, but your mom doesn't want to do it. And she'd be like, I'll do it. I'll get him to do it.
Yeah, I mean, she is. Look, I will give her this. And this is where Mykelti and I probably have a little bit, like, that was me in high school, right? I was I never knew this, okay? So I went to high school, my junior and senior year, I lived in a dorm. I went to a private school, and we were there Monday through Friday, and then we had to go home on the weekends, right? So it was hours for me. My roommate only lived like 45 minutes away. So my senior year, I didn't go home much. I just went home with my roommate. And my roommate and I were best friends, and we had a blast together. We saw each other not long ago, and we were talking about our high school experience. Now, mind you, I was the conservative Mennonite girl who was very naive and went to high school and was like, because this was a high school with 1,000 kids in it that were all kinds of denominations, and I was like way in over my head. I thought, right? Okay. I thought she was the instigator that got us in trouble. And she said to me, you know what I always liked about you? And I said, what? And she said, it did not matter what somebody suggested. You were like, I'm down, let's go. And she said, 90% of the time I was scared to do it. And you would be like, sure, let's crawl out the window with sheets. Okay. Whatever. Yeah. And I looked at her and I was like, really? Because I always thought that I was terrified and you were making me do it. And that reminds me very much of Mykelti. I think that she is kind of that personality that she probably doesn't even realize it about herself. Mm-hmm. She's that person that if somebody suggests it, she's like, okay, let's go.
Yep.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that TLC planted that scene in her head. I think they set her up. I really do. Because they needed that shot.
Yeah.
And look, it could not have worked. This season would not have ended if it was just like, see ya, peace out, bye. They needed to have that.
Everybody keeps talking.
We're not going to do it.
Everybody keeps talking about wanting a spinoff show with like Janelle and Christine, and I'm like, it won't work. There's no villain. It won't work. We don't want to watch something where there is not a bad guy.
I'll tell you what I think would work. I think if they did a revolving OG3 show where they did one episode about this is what's going on with Mary this month. This is what's going on with Janelle this week or this month. This is what's going on with Christine. And then like they got the kids together. I think it would be very interesting for them to take a change out of Gwen and McKelty's Patreon, and they should pay the children
Yes.
what they should. Because I heard somewhere recently that these women are making $40,000 an episode.
I don't know, but I know these kids are not making that.
Exactly. So pay them.
Yeah.
Pay the kids to be on this show. You've done so much to them. Give them their own show where they can talk about the effects of what this show has done to them. What you did, TLC.
Well, and we keep calling them kids. They're grown-ass adults.
Absolutely. Yes. Some of them have children of their own.
Yeah, 3 of them, 4 of them.
Yes. But, I mean, they should have the right to stand up or sit down or whatever and say, like, I don't want to go through every single episode, but, like, I remember this day. This was a fun day. Or, I remember this day. I was so mad about this. Or, you know, let's do this or let's do that. I think that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
I think if we could have something like that with an episode of Mary and an episode of Janelle and an episode of Christine as the end of the show. Round it up. Put a bow on it. As David Woolley said, it can't last forever, and move on.
Now, in light of that, people say that Cody has a real job. I have never been able to find out from anybody what that real job is. He's lost his licensure to sell gun stuff. Oh, I didn't say that. Fun stuff. Sorry, I misspoke. I meant fun stuff.
The fun stuff.
Fun stuff. So what is it precisely that Cody does, A? And B, if the show goes kaput, which I think we all agree that's what's going to happen, what is Robin going to do?
Okay. Yes, Cody has a job. He is the head of the Cody Brown family.
Excuse me, I need to go vomit.
He's the head of the Cody Brown Family Productions. He is the head of
club. That's a club.
You're right. I'm sorry. Okay. I have no idea what Cody does. I don't think he does anything.
Punk Rock Polygamist says that he knows people that know Cody and that he does have his feet in several different things. That's what he says.
Oh. Okay. I think that Cody has invested
Okay.
in lots of different things. You know, I think he's trying to hit it big somewhere. He does, as far as I know, he does not have a 9-to-5 job.
No. No.
So I don't know what he does other than sell horrible advice on Cameo. And
Okay, I paid for one for Danielle for her birthday. I'm not gonna lie. I know it was dumb. I couldn't resist.
I saw it. I wanted to do that.
I was like, you know what? TikTok pays me. I've got to use some of my fun money and do this just to see what the jerk is going to say. Tomorrow, he brought out The Christmas Carol yet again.
Yeah. I don't think that he's actually read that book. Like, has he actually gotten the message of that whole thing? I'm not sure he has.
I don't know either.
Because Christmas Future is not looking good for him.
No.
He's going to end up alone and broke and sad and miserable and angry. And
Look,
did I mention alone?
Somebody said, do you think it was a joke? Now, look, I am not going to lie. I did have this thought. When I paid for that, he has, I think it said 5 to 7 days to do the cameo, right? So I'm watching. It's over a weekend. I'm thinking there's a weekend in there. And surely he'll do it. He doesn't do it. Now, the only name I gave was Grace and Danielle. I did not give anything else. But we all know Cody and Robin spam TikTok. And I had to wonder if he put it together that it was me and her and that was intentional. You don't
No way. I do not think that Cody would think to go look. I think Cody gets his, oh, look at, I got a cameo request. Gonna scrunch my hair and my zip stuff.
I'm sure the man's not showing.
Give me some hot tea. I got a cameo. I got to go outside on the porch you can't lean against the railing for.
My Lanta.
Yeah.
I can't. Can
But
you
like,
imagine? It's no wonder Robin's upset the polygamy failed. She's got to deal with him every single night.
she was dealing with him every single night anyway. She's mad because her paycheck is gone and Cody's mad. Period. When Cody wasn't mad, he was nice to her. She got her way. He bought her stuff. He did whatever she wanted, you know? She did things for him. He did things for her. It was a mutual thing. But now he's not getting what he wants from outside the home.
Well,
He doesn't.
okay. Look, how much wine have I had? Yeah, enough. I think the other thing is the age that he is affecting their relationship, so to speak.
I think you might be right.
I think I might be right. Yep.
I think you might be right.
Here's that.
But I also think that Cody's the guy who would call the doctor and be like, I need a little blue pills.
Yeah.
Which could also be affecting. If he's on something like that, he could be having that sort. But the other thing, I don't know what his situation is. He's jumpy, he's like a spider monkey. He's always moving. He doesn't ever sit still.
He sometimes resembles someone that's a bit bipolar.
Oh yeah, he's definitely bipolar. Oh, he's got such a myriad of things. He could just pull out whatever he wanted to. He's got a lot of problems. But the biggest problem that Cody Brown faces is Cody Brown.
Yeah.
He's not a pleasant man. I mean, let's just take the show away and everything. Could you imagine being the spouse to him?
Never.
He would suck the energy out of you just by being there.
Well, and if you go back and watch, speaking of that, if you go back and watch the older episodes, there are scenes where you see that happen with the kids. Mm-hmm. The kids will all be in the room playing together. It's like a holiday or whatever. He walks in the room and you literally see it kind of drain out of everybody. And it's like, he so desperately has to be the center of everything that it just drains everybody.
His need to be the center of attention, when he went to that wedding that he officiated when Isabel's surgery was happening, and he went and officiated that wedding, and he was dancing around like a fool. Mm-hmm. That made me so mad. I actually just turned the TV off and walk away. I had to watch that in like 3 segments. I was so angry on Isabel's behalf, and on Christine's behalf, and on Truly's behalf, and everybody else that had their lives uprooted and, changed and everything like that, because he at that moment was dancing around, and it was so obvious that he just did not care.
Look, Diane has come in my comment section and said, how would you feel if someone was on TikTok talking about you like this? That is why I do not have a show.
I can assure you there are people who talk about me like this.
Oh, somebody told me the other day.
On social media every day.
Did you see my TikTok I did? I played with some little boy the other day. I had so much fun. I stayed up late because I had gone to bed early the night before, and I'm a night shifter, and then I couldn't sleep. So it's like 11 o'clock, and I'm scrolling the TikTok. Big guy has gone to bed. And I see one of these young fools that comes on TikTok has a mask on, so you can't see his face. And he's telling women, if you come in and you drop your name, I'll look at your picture and I'll tell you what number you are for real. And all these girls are me. And they're beautiful, like 20-something-year-old girls. And I'm watching this guy and I'm thinking,
he's going to give them all 4s.
No. He was telling them, some of them he was being really mean to. Some of them he was like, because they were stunning, Oh. They were all stunning in my book. Mm-hmm. I was like, all right, let's play with the little man. So I jumped right in and I was like, me. He ignored me. And I was like, me. And then I did like a little heart emoji. He ignored me. And then I jumped in again and I said, you don't have enough fucking nerve to do me. I did. I put it right out there. I started messing with him. And he come back and he was like, got to be me now. You're a 4. And I said, you wish I could be your mama. I am almost 60 years old. You wish I was a 4. And he thought I was lying. He was like, you ain't got to get all bent just because I said you were a 4. And later, I was like, this is devastating to me because I think it's funny. But a 19-year-old woman who is just learning about herself is not going to think it's funny. She's going to be devastated by that, you know?
How do these children, you're asking about how do you think Cody feels about this? How do you think Cody's children feel about this? Logan, I didn't want to go to his wedding. Wasn't about me. I didn't want anybody looking at me. I was just uncomfortable.
Can you imagine?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure Logan loved that. I'm sure Logan and Michelle, who apparently didn't want this wedding mentioned at all.
Right.
Well,
And
that's thrilled to death.
I have tried to be very careful with, I talk about sister wives. I like all the water cooler talk. There is a line that I don't like to cross. And you know that. You and I have had that conversation. For me, and I have openly said this, for me, I would have never gone and toured their house. That wasn't on the show. I'm not going to do that. That just feels like a line I'm not going to cross. So, but the stuff they put on the show, dude, you've opened that up now. Like,
I do understand people saying, oh, I'm sure that Cody and Robin don't like hearing this. I'm sure they don't. I'm sure that after a decade of listening to this, that they probably should have listened to what everybody was saying, but they're not. They are so resistant and so angry and so,
there's just like I said earlier this week, if everybody is telling you the same opinion, it's time you back away and go, is that opinion correct? And I don't think they've ever done that.
They're not there. I mean, look at Cody goes to therapy and goes, I'm not here to be told I'm doing anything wrong. I'm not going to be listening to anything like that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? That he doesn't listen to what anyone says ever. So what do I think? What would I think about Cody hearing all that? Cody's not going to hear it.
Yeah.
He may hear the words, but he's not going to listen.
No.
It doesn't matter.
No.
And if Robin hears this and she thinks, oh, golly, they don't like me. No, I don't.
I do think.
I don't like you.
This is my personal prediction now. Okay, now we're just playing pretend. Oh, wait, I got a cough. This is what I think is going to happen. I think that Robin is going to stay till the bitter end. And then she's going to bail because it's going to get bad between her and Cody. And then she's going to turn around and try to play victim and get everybody to like her because poor me, you don't know what was going on in that house. He was abusive. He was this. He was that. And she's going to try to turn the tide and get everybody to like her.
So let me ask you this question.
Uh-oh.
So, Sister Wives is canceled. Word season 2021, whatever.
Okay.
Robin implode. What do you think the chances are that Robin's going to approach TLC and say, don't you want to do a redemption story about me? Don't you want to get together with the other OGs and then hear about all this? And then we can tell you the truth behind polygamy? We could bust the doors open?
It will depend if all of her children bail on her.
She'll be the hero to how many people if she does that?
But if all of her children leave and say, I don't want anything to do with this.
They're not going to leave. Here's the thing. I don't think Aurora or Brianna are going to get married. I don't think they will be allowed to. I think they will be there until they are much older. Much older.
Yeah.
And Solomon and Ariana will be growing up and moving out. And then they will be like, I don't know what to do. And Robin will end up sitting on the front porch with her daughters in rocking chairs as opposed to her sister wives.
Look, somebody said they're way too codependent on each other. I could see that.
There's no way they're gonna do that.
Yeah.
But what did you say about Robin polygamy dating? Robin would go on a polygamy dating
show. Can you imagine that?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
That just was such a funny picture of my puddle monkey. Puddle Monkey. Here's another fiasco idea for you. Are they the ones that do the 90-Day Fiance or whatever that is?
Puddle Monkey has so many things. So many things.
What a big mistake that was.
What have you gotten into? Okay, so did you watch John and Kate plus 8? I know we're diverging here, but since we're here, did you watch that show back in the day?
I did.
I did too. She was a nurse, and so I fell into it. And then I was like, she is mean, you know. So have you seen the things Colin has come out and said now?
I have seen a few things. I actually walked away at the zip ties. I was like, nope.
Yeah, it's bad.
If half of that is true, she should be brought up on charges.
It's really
I'm not
bad.
sure why she wouldn't.
They'll probably claim like statute of limitations or something. I don't know, but that was just devastating to me. And I kind of started to feel like History in 60, where it's like, okay, let's look at the history of TLC and the shows they have put on the air, and it's not good.
I think that TLC really needs to change how they do things. You know, with the whole Duggar situation and the way that they paid Jim Bob Family Productions, and then now the way they're paying Cody Brown Family Productions. And I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but the whole debacle now going on with Honey Boo Boo and her reality show and her mother stealing all of her money.
Oh,
Yeah,
I heard about that. Yeah.
There's a rabbit hole you can go down as well. Alana, Honey Boo Boo, is now on TikTok doing lives talking about she needs money for college.
Yeah.
I don't even want to get into that. Anyway, I think it's evident here that these parents are able to go around Durbin law, the Charlie Durbin law. What's the
Oh yeah. With the kid law.
It's the kid law. Yeah, it's the children who work in television. 20% of their paycheck must be kept, a minimum of 20% of their paycheck must be kept in an account for them when they grow up. That doesn't mean that 80% goes in there. That means that they must put at least 20% in there. And most of the time, parents only put 20% in there. And then some, Dugan, it's the Dugan law. There we go. Or Coogan, it's Coogan law. Sorry, it's Coogan law. It's not Cooper, it's Coogan. Anyway, so it's Charlie Coogan. So it has to be in California. The Coogan law is only in California. Not all states have this. So, for example, if you are filming in, I don't know, Arkansas, like the Duggars, you don't have to do that.
Wow.
And if you're filming in Utah or Arizona, you don't have to do that. Now, TLC wasn't doing that because they didn't pay the children individually. Individually. Right. They didn't do that. They paid the one big payment. But I will hope that somebody in the world of the entertainment law world is realizing that these kids are having their entire childhood stolen from them on national television for our Truman Entertainment and are getting nothing from it.
The show that I respect the most was one that was on the air for a very short period of time. I can't remember the name of it. It was a mom and a dad. They had 2 older boys, and then they got pregnant with quintuplets or sextuplets or something. They were Christian. They chose not to downsize the pregnancy. They had the babies. They did 1 or 2 seasons. And then their older children, the contract came for renewal. They said to the older children, do you want us to film again? And the 9-year-old was like, no. And they said, okay. And they stopped. Yep. And they are, I follow them on Instagram, quite happy living their nice, quiet little life, you know?
Yeah.
Somebody is saying that, Outdaughtered was one. That was one. That wasn't it. But yes, that was one. Somebody is saying there's a body update from the yard. Does anybody know what it was?
They caution taped her yard, they're saying.
Oh,
they have caution taped her yard. Holy criminy, are you serious? That means they found something.
Yeah.
That means the dogs hit something. I mean, like, you know, they hit on something.
Okay, but can you imagine putting your house up for sale knowing that you buried a body in the backyard in a rug? What the hell?
Well, see, what happens is that they don't know. Okay, so like seller A buried the body, and then they died. So buyer B has no idea there's a body there, and then buyer B sold the house to buyer C.
And
That
she
type of
found the
thing.
rug.
And she found there. I have no idea if that's what happened in this story, but that does happen, you know.
Holy crap.
Oh, yeah.
Would you
Yeah.
stay in a house if they found a body in the backyard?
Okay. I live in Western Pennsylvania. So chances are.
You and I
There-
aren't that far from each other.
Oh, really? Well, when
Yeah.
you said Mennonite, I was like, I'm in Amish country. So.
Yeah. You and I are not that far from each other. We'll have to hook up. Yeah.
Oh my God, we should meet up sometime.
I would love
Maybe
to
we
do
should
that.
meet up for like the season finale or something.
We could. Girl, we should totally do that.
We should do that.
Okay, we will connect offline.
We should do that. Okay,
Okay.
let's do something like that. It'd be fun. That'd be
I
fun.
would love that. I would love that.
Okay. But what was I saying here? Oh, the whole house. The whole. Okay, I live in West Pennsylvania, so like people have died all over here. You know, chances are. I'm from Southern California originally, so like when I moved out here.
Somebody just said prior owner is in a nursing home, so you're probably right. Holy cow!
Yep. There you go. She Grace, you are the only one to say, "Let's do it."
What's
Let's
that
do
mean?
it.
Is
You're
that
the only one that was like, "Let's do it. Let's do it."
Yeah, heck yeah,
I'm all for it. Let's do it.
yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. Oh, she updated a video less than 10 minutes ago.
It literally just came up on my page when we were talking, and it caught my attention, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yes. Remember Gwen saying that they put rocks over a body in Lehigh? Yes. That was one of Christine's miscarriages. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They put, and Gwen was talking about that. I'll never forget that. Because I was not prepared for that conversation. I was like, I don't know, I was like eating macaroni and cheese or something. I'm like, wait, what?
I worked in
What's
labor and
going on
delivery.
here?
I've worked in labor and delivery, and I know, look, people get wigged out by that, but it depends on what your state law is as
Yes.
to what happens with the miscarried baby. So it usually falls into how many weeks you are as to what happens. So if you're under like viability, that falls on the family to do what they want.
Well, and Gwendolyn explained it in pretty accurate detail, I would say. I was like, I'm going to eat my macaroni and cheese and try and ignore this until we get to the next part, you know?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, did you hear that Christine and Janelle are with Gwendolyn and B and David in Sedona right now?
No, I did not.
Yeah, they're in Sedona right now.
What are they doing there?
Just being tourists.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that Janelle went out, you know, because she's filming and the hurricane was happening in North Carolina. So she was like, I'll just, you know, kill two birds with one stone type of thing. So she wrote stuff.
I would love to know how often. I know that Leon doesn't want any part of any publicity, but I would love to know how often Mary gets to see Leon and their spouse.
I think, I don't know. I don't know.
either. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm assuming there's still a good relationship there, but
I'm assuming there is. I'm also assuming that the reason that Mary stayed with Cody as long as she did is because she wanted Leon to have a relationship with him and that she desperately wanted that. I think that had it not been for Mary's mother and Leon, that she probably would have left a long time ago.
yeah.
That she really wanted to have Leon to have a relationship, and that was her connection. That was it. She was the connection.
Yeah, maybe.
So, I mean, it's not like
Leon has kind of been like, peace out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leon, Logan,
A lot of, most of them.
lot of them have pieced out. I don't want anything to do with
I
it.
mean, like Hunter will still do things when it's an event. Like he'll show his face.
Hunter shows up for everything. Absolutely everything.
He does.
Hunter is the brother everybody wants.
But he doesn't. And see, I feel all connected to Hunter because he's a nurse. But he doesn't. He's not like McKelty, where it's like, I want to be part of this. You know, he's just like, I have my life over here, but I'll show up for my mom and I'll do what my mom needs me to do. but I'm not
Yeah.
like I'm out, you know.
I don't get the impression from Hunter that he is the camera hog, the center of attention, want a beer, but he is desperately wanting to be and is a very large part of this family and a support system for a lot of them. I mean, he shows up for everything.
And I think he's probably the first phone call a lot of them make when they need something.
Yep.
Is
Yep.
let's call Hunter. Because
Janelle calls Logan and then she calls Hunter, but I'm not sure that Christine calls one of her. Well, I don't know. She probably calls Aspen first. I mean, she and Aspen are very close. So
yeah, they are. I don't know. Anyway, listen, we probably should get off of here.
yeah, we've been on for an hour. 15 minutes.
It has been so much fun.
It has been a wonderful time talking to you. I would love to get together and do something for the finale. We'll talk. We'll talk.
Okay, we will. Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you
All right.
to all of you who joined. Oh, my cat hair is flying. Sorry. And we'll do it again.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me on. I really had a great time. You need to save the voice because you have Mrs. Kickstand on tomorrow.
She canceled.
Did she really? What? Actually, I was watching her video right before I got on with you. She had a new preview.
She forgot she has a concert tomorrow night.
Concert sponsored, man. Got to
Oh,
be down.
I'm going camping.
I'm in camp.
I'm planning on being camping and drunk as a snot tomorrow night.
Sounds like a plan to me.
That's my plan. Anyway.
All right. Well, hey, have a good night.
You too. Talk to you later.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
And thanks so much for having me. Bye.